Today's show is all about getting you the most years with your family. And my friend and longevity expert, Dan Buettner, reveals the secrets to living to 100 in his book, The Blue Zones. Now, he says it starts with dinner tonight. Right now, we can make this difference, and anybody can do it. It's time to head to the grocery store with this family of 6.
My name is Sandra. I'm a busy wife and mother of 4 daughters.
Grace, give me that glass over there.
Cooking is a challenge. Everyone is still picky, and we don't always make the healthiest choices. We're an Italian-American family, and we do like our pasta. Pasta with peas, pasta with sauce, pasta with garlic and oil, pasta with butter. A lot of times we do takeout. My husband does have high blood pressure. It's time to start making healthier choices. We want to live a long life.
I want to be around for my kids. I want to be around for my wife.
We sisters would love to live to 90 years old. That's if we don't kill each other by then.
We want something that is healthy for our family, but also is not a lot of fuss, and that everybody will like and enjoy. I feel like I could use some help.
We asked author, educator, and longevity expert Dan Buettner to show Sandra and her family how to shop for and prepare a healthy, tasty meal that won't break her budget.
All right, can you show me around a little?
Okay.
Where to keep the veggies?
Tomatoes.
I like to go into a kitchen and I can tell pretty quickly if this is a healthy or an unhealthy environment. I give this kitchen about a C+.
We need to do a big food shopping.
All right, let me take you.
Please.
All right,
I
let's
think I could
go.
use some help. Let's go.
All right, Sandra, we're gonna have some fun, but I'm gonna ask you to think differently about the way you shop. I always like you to start at the produce aisle. This is where you should spend most of your time, and I would argue most of your money. I know your family loves tomatoes, so we're gonna load up on these babies right here.
Go ahead, Sarah. My mother would call that Pinocchio.
Pinocchio. The journey to a longer, healthier life really begins in the grocery store. Sandra, I tried to show her what are the foods that really associate with longevity. Okay, here's where the skies open, an array of goodness comes down from heaven right here, beans. The cornerstone of every longevity diet in the world. And then gather the ingredients so we can make 4 dishes tonight that our family's going to like.
I know fruits and vegetables are healthy, but will my family eat the fruits and vegetables? What's going to be different about the way he's going to prepare it that they're going to say, I like the way this tastes?
Have you ever tried tofu?
No, I have not. I've seen it, I've heard about it, but I have never tried it.
We're
What
opening a
food
whole
group
new
does that
world to you,
even-
girl.
Yeah, okay.
We're making 5 things from the Blue Zones. In order to eat healthy, you need 4 things. Number 1, you need to have the right information. Number 2, your kitchen has to be set up so it's easy to cook it. Number 3, you have to have the skills. And number 4, you actually have to like it. So the idea here is to make this food taste good and have this family discover it on their own so they keep doing it for the long run.
They're doing a lot of chopping, but I'm not really sure what the outcome is going to be. It smells good.
Throw it in there.
It feels like a sponge.
It looks like meat.
It tastes like meat, but it's about 5 times healthier.
Okay, well, we'll see.
I had tofu one time and it was like rubbery. I have never had it. Kind of gross.
All right, team, congratulations. We have our Blue Zone feast. Icarian stew, the Sardinian summer pasta, the Loma Linda stir-fried made with your favorite vegetables, the sweet potatoes from Okinawa, and the sourdough bread. Let's dig in.
Yeah. Wait, we're gonna give it a try.
So, Sandra, Billy, their daughters, they even brought a friend who never leaves. We all have one, a family. Yeah. And they're all here with longevity expert and author, and should I add, Chef Dan Buettner. So, describe this family to me. What makes them interesting to you?
Well, okay, it's a traditional Italian-American family. I have to say, Sandra was awful brave to let me invade her kitchen for a day. But
Made quite a mess that night.
they have great values, and I think that's a cornerstone for longevity anywhere. They actually had a manifesto right on their wall. They eat together as a family. But on the other side, they kind of buy into this same American myth that we don't have time to live healthy. And if your family and health is a priority, you do have that time.
Yeah, you make that time for what matters. So, there was a lot of interest here. However, there were times when I noticed a little trepidation. Girls, for example, you didn't seem too excited about that tofu.
My problem child was Grace down there, who's also my favorite.
I don't know if she's still a favorite fan of tofu.
No, I don't like tofu.
I'll tell you though that knowing how to make tofu taste good, like we try to do in the Blue Zones, and Emily was my big fan. She actually tried
At
it.
first, I really didn't think I was gonna like it, but it was all right. I probably wouldn't eat it too much again, but I did like it.
It grew on you.
Yeah, it did.
And
So-
it was good in the dessert, though, I have to say. In the dessert, I
had
liked
tofu
it.
in the dessert?
In the dessert. You put it in a blender. It didn't look so good when it was in the bowl, but...
We're going to cover some of these. I
Yeah,
do
it's
have
good.
questions about the details, but the bigger theme here is how do you get a family, any family, families are watching right now, motivated and keep them staying on track for a program like this?
Yeah, well, if I told you the most motivating thing in the world, you wouldn't remember it for long enough to make a difference. So really kind of the ethos of Blue Zones is you have to set up your life, and more specifically to this, what we're talking about now is your kitchen so it's easy. So having a junk food drawer like what you have, we're all gonna eat junk food, but if you put it out of sight, out of mind. I think there's 3 foods you should never have in your kitchen. Processed meats, soda pops, sugar soda pops, and packaged desserts. And if you can just keep them out of your kitchen, you're winning half the battle right there without even having to think about it.
All right, so when we come back, Dan's going to show us exactly how to design your own meals to live a long and healthy life and make it easy to do so you do the right thing. Stay here. All
right, well, Sandra, when it comes to the American diet, there's nothing more meat and potatoes than, well,
Potatoes.
Your family like potatoes?
Yes, they do.
Let me show you an upgrade. Right here, you reach over the aisle to the sweet potatoes. They're not only full of beta-carotene, they're the cornerstone of the diet of the world's longest lived people, and they're delicious.
Dan Buettner's dinner with Sandra and her family was a great success, and that is proof that eating like a longevity expert is easy and cheap to do in real life, and you don't need to go get exotic foods from all over the world. So let's start with the things that you need to serve to your loved ones, because there is some food decisions. You start with sweet potatoes and coconut milk paired together. Now that sounds really, really tasty. This is a photo actually taken by the family. Actually, you know what? You guys have leftovers, don't you?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Let's get some leftovers. Come on now.
Yeah,
Why
so-
talk about it if we can be eating it?
So, so when you put coconut milk in, you're not only going to again lower the glycemic load. The sugars are going to absorb more slowly, so it's better for you. Watch, I'll spill it all over you. But also, the real secret, if you want to get people to eat the right food for a long time, you have to make it taste good. What do you think?
That is so good.
Do you know how hard it is to make that? You mix 2 ingredients. Even you could do that, Dr. Oz.
So what are the ingredients? Literally just
Sweet potatoes boiled, and then you add coconut milk, and then you get Grace to mash it up.
And why do you have to add the coconut milk? Why is that so important?
Well, it slowers the rate at which the carbohydrates absorb, makes it less likely they'll end up on your hips and more available to use as energy.
Oh, I love that. And what is this?
This is the Icarian stew with black-eyed peas. I mentioned that beans are the cornerstone of every longevity diet in the world. You tell me if it's good enough to eat every day.
That's really tasty.
Yeah, it tastes meaty, doesn't it? There's not 1 ounce of meat in the whole thing. And raise your hand.
What's
We won't go into that.
You know what? I don't want to be greedy. Share this with I'll take the one that I eat.
Okay.
Please share that with the audience over there, Sandra. Thank you.
Raise your hand if you guys like the Icarian stew. There we go. Of course, Grace keeps her hand down.
And is this the dessert, the tofu dessert you're talking about?
How much do you normally like tofu? Yeah.
It's not as good as steak, but I get
right.
through it. For the reason you stated, though, you know I know I don't want to have meat every day or even fish every day.
Yes. So tofu is high in complex carbohydrates, high in protein. It's cheap. All the hipsters in Los Angeles are eating it now. If you go to celebrity restaurants like Crossroads, that's on the top of the menu. And that's my cream dream dessert.
You should sell this stuff. I'm serious. This is so what's in here?
It's tofu, coconut milk, a little bit of honey, some chia seeds, and then some fruit compote. It took me about 15 minutes to whip up.
I taste the chia. It's a little chewy in there.
Yeah, that's what makes it kind of thick
All
and
right.
pudding-like.
So we got all the food here. And Sandra, are you guys happy with the food over there? Oh, they're sharing.
Oh!
Yeah, they're eating with their best friends. Part of this, the success story.
And there's a lot of love in there. These guys all cooked it with me.
You look younger already. All right. So you argue actually, it's not just the food we eat, but how we eat it.
Yes, yeah. I think it's important that you pre-plate the food at the counter and not serve it family style. If you're serving it family style, you're probably eating 20 to 30% more calories than you need to. And then really beginning a meal by expressing some gratitude, putting some punctuation between the busyness of your day and your meal. And you want to slow down, make it less likely that you're going to overeat before your belly's too full and your mind realizes.
One little trick about my youngest one, my son is really growing fast, and he'll eat everything and much of it. He has to plate with veggies first, which I know you do too. All the veggies you want the first time around, you can go back whatever else you want, but you got to finish that first plate. And that's a nice little secret.
Yes.
Love having
Good to see you, man.
Fantastic. Nicely done, Zach. You can find all of Dan's recipes on DrOz.com. I want to thank Sandra and her family for opening up their house. We'll be right back. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss out on new videos to live the good life.